Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive where we explore the power of intuition.
That inner voice that can sometimes feel like,
Yeah, like a whisper,
yeah, exactly,
right?
a whisper guiding us through life.
And we're really going to get into it today, folks, because we've got some research
Some really cool insights to share.
about how tapping into that gut feeling
Yeah, that gut feeling.
can really make a difference in how we make decisions.
And how we, just live a more fulfilling life.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in.
All right, so what's so fascinating about intuition is that,
I've always thought about this, like, is this some mystical thing?
right, like a sixth sense or something,
Yeah.
but it's actually rooted in science.
Really?
Yeah, so think of your brain like a computer,
Yeah.
constantly processing information from all those experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Things we observe, our emotions even.
Wow.
And intuition is like the output of all that subconscious processing,
Huh. That's so
or
interesting.
like all those gut feelings, those hunches you get.
Yeah. So it's like our brain is working behind the scenes,
Yeah, like in the background.
picking up on all these cues and signals that we might not even realize.
Yeah, exactly. Might not even be consciously aware of them.
Okay, so can you give us an example of that?
Sure. So let's say you're meeting someone new for the first time.
Okay.
Your conscious mind is probably focused on, what they're saying.
Their words. Yeah.
But your subconscious is busy picking up on their body language,
Oh, that's interesting.
their tone of voice, even tiny micro-expressions you might not notice.
Wow.
And all of that data feeds into your intuition, giving you that gut feeling.
Like, do I trust this person or not?
Exactly.
I can totally relate to that. I've definitely met people
Yeah.
where I've gotten that instant feeling of like,
Yeah.
something's not right,
Right.
but I can't put my finger on why.
And that's your subconscious working its magic.
It's amazing to think about.
It is.
But okay, so if our intuition is so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
why shouldn't we just always rely on it completely?
That's a great question. And, while intuition can be incredibly insightful,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that it does have its limitations.
Okay.
Our intuition is shaped by, our past experiences and any biases we might have.
Right.
And that means it can sometimes, lead us down the wrong path.
Oh, so like it could be misleading?
It can be. Yeah. So, for
Okay.
example, if you've had a negative experience with someone you know who fits a certain profile,
Okay.
your intuition might warn you against anyone who shares similar traits,
Oh, wait.
even if they're totally different.
So how can we know the difference then between a real intuitive feeling
Right.
and, just our own bias or maybe just anxiety?
That's where finding the balance between intuition and critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
Think of it like this: intuition is that whisper in your ear,
Right.
while logic is the voice of reason.
Okay.
And you need to listen to both to make those sound decisions.
So it's like a team effort.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's a technique that we can use to kind of figure this out a little better?
Well, one helpful technique is to just try to analyze the situation objectively.
Okay.
So ask yourself,
Yeah.
is this feeling based on actual evidence, or is it being influenced by my past?
That's a really good point.
Right. So it's about being aware of those potential biases
Yeah.
and using logic to, sort of evaluate those gut feelings.
So we would just jump to conclusions.
Exactly.
Now I'm curious, have you ever
Yeah.
had a time where you had this really strong intuitive feeling about something and you ignored it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, it's like those times when,
You could be anything.
yeah, it could be a job offer that looks perfect on paper,
Right.
but something just feels off.
Yeah.
Or maybe a relationship where your gut's telling you to walk away.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is, but you stay because logically it seems like the right thing to do.
Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I had this one time where
Mm-hmm.
I was offered this incredible job opportunity.
Okay.
I mean, it looked amazing on paper.
Yeah.
More money, more responsibility.
Right.
But for some reason, I just had this nagging feeling that something wasn't right.
Okay.
And, I was so focused on the logic of it all
Yeah.
that I ignored that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up taking the job.
Eh.
Well, it turned out to be a disaster.
Oh, no.
The company culture was toxic.
Right.
My boss was a nightmare.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up leaving after just a few months.
You see, that's a perfect example of how ignoring our intuition
Yeah.
can really lead us down a path that just doesn't serve us.
It's not just about making the wrong decision.
Right.
It's like the emotional toll it takes on you, too.
Yeah, when we keep ignoring those inner nudges,
Yeah.
it can create this sense of internal conflict and unease.
Absolutely.
Like we're not being true to ourselves.
So what can we do then
Yeah.
to actually strengthen our intuition?
Right, like make it a more reliable guide in our lives.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is that intuition is kind of like a muscle.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the stronger it becomes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so practices like mindfulness and meditation can be really helpful
Okay.
because they help us quiet the noise of our busy mind
Right.
and learn to pay attention to our inner world.
So we become more in tune with ourselves.
Exactly. And that allows us to be more sensitive to those subtle, intuitive whispers.
I like that.
Yeah. And, even simple things like spending time in nature,
Oh, yeah.
journaling, or engaging in creative activities can help us connect with that intuition.
Those are great tips.
Yeah, just finding ways to tune in.
This has been so insightful.
Well, thank you.
I mean, seriously, so much to think about.
Yeah.
So to wrap things up,
Yes,
it seems like our intuition is a really powerful tool
absolutely.
that can guide us towards making better decisions, living a more fulfilling life.
For sure.
It's not about, ditching logic altogether,
Right.
but finding that sweet spot
Yeah, that balance.
where intuition and critical thinking work together.
It's like a partnership.
Exactly. And, as you all go about your day. Yeah.
I want you to really pay attention to those gut feelings. What messages is your intuition trying to send you?
Right. Listen closely.
How can you create space in your life to actually listen to that inner voice?
Yeah. Carve out that time.
You might be surprised by what it has to tell you.
The wisdom is there waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, folks,
Take care.
keep trusting your gut.
And listen to that inner voice.
You got this.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.